Hello everyone and happy Sunday. I am doing a lunch prep video today and going to cover packing lunches as well. Whether you're packing lunches for kids or for yourself, I'm going to cover some easy, simple techniques for you and show you a lunch that I'm doing for my daughter for school tomorrow. And it's really dark here. Oh my gosh, we have the smoke that's come up from Washington, Oregon, California. All of the wildfire smoke has come up into our area. It is cold here. It feels like October right now. It's gray and just overcast. The sun's not coming through. So it's really eerie and odd. It feels like very strange. And anyone in the area, in the West Coast, they know what I'm talking about. It's so peculiar right now. And so now when you go out, it's like you gotta wear a mask to go to a store and you gotta wear a mask to go outside because the air quality is so bad. Anyhow, I'm inside making lunches, lights are on. Again, like I said, it feels like the fall. So for all of you who are just joining, please say hello. And today I'm doing a vegan lunch prep video and also showing a pack lunch for my daughter for school, but it could be for anyone. I just want to give you tips on making lunches. And for those of you who are kind of new to my work, my name is Drina. I've written 5 solo cookbooks, vegan cookbooks. I've co-authored 2 with Dr. Barnard, and my next book is coming out in the summer of 21. Woohoo! When we welcome 21, and hopefully it's going to be a much brighter year. And yeah, and my website is drinaburton.com. So in the description to this video today, I've added the links for the recipes and the things that I'm talking about, okay? So you can just go to the description and find the links, and if it's not making sense, just hop to my site, drinaburton.com, and you can search the recipes or the items. It's there. So I will mention before I get started on the lunches, fruit flies. It's one of the things we have more of as vegans is fruit flies, right? We give them like a feast to enjoy all the time. But today I've batch cooked a bunch of items to kind of get going for the week. And 2 of our daughters are in some athletic training right now. Our youngest, Hope, who's 11, she does competitive swim. And because the pools are still closed in our area, which is ridiculous and is another topic for another day, but our local city has not opened our pools. They have to drive an extra like half hour to get to an outdoor pool to do some of their training. And because of the air quality, they aren't going to outdoor pools. So she's doing her training inside. It's basically dry land training that they're doing. But I'm finding because she's in training, and then my middle girl, Bridget, who's 15, she's trying out for a hockey team, a competitive hockey team. She's been doing a ton of training, so their appetites are like revved right up. And any of you who have kids very active, you know what that's like. They're burning through calories, right? So they need a lot of food. They're always in the kitchen looking for something, especially I find my 15-year-old. So I have batch cooked a bunch of things today. So to start with, I'll show you, I prepped. Woo! I was just able to open the Instant Pot. I steamed a whole lot of, I shouldn't be touching those with bare hands. Don't do what I do. But I steamed a whole lot of yellow potatoes, like not russets, but basically a thin-skinned, waxy potato. So something like a new potato. Baby potatoes are great. These are just Yukon Gold, and they were on sale at the store a few weeks ago, so I bought a bunch of bags. And steaming them like this is great, especially if it's hot out. And it takes 5 minutes in the Instant Pot, and then I do natural release, and they're super moist and tender. And we had these last night, and Bridget came back and had seconds later. She was like, oh my gosh, these potatoes are amazing. We just put some nut cheese on them, and they were great, and some truffle salt. Have I talked to you guys about truffle salt? Oh my gosh, I've got to do a post or a video on truffle salt. I have a couple of brands that I've bought, and I will add some links to those too. But it's basically truffle infused sea salt, and it's amazing on potatoes, pasta, and other things. So I'll have to add some links for that, but I don't want to get too derailed on our video today. Anyone's out there, say hello, and please ask questions along the way. I know I see some of you there, but not hearing from anyone yet. Okay, so that's one thing I did, and then I also batch prepped chickpeas. So this is 3 or 4 cans of chickpeas. These will last the kids maybe, I'm thinking 2-3 days. If I'm lucky, 2-3 days. I'll be using them in lunches, and they tend to eat them when they're hungry. They just put them, like, eat them straight up. They'll have them with rice or, you know, on the side with something. I also add them to soups, salads, whatever you want. In fact, I just made a little instant soup for my daughter. She's gonna have lunch, and she just had a snack because she just did a training. Hi, Christine. She just did a dry land, so she had a little snack, and I know she's gonna come up to eat soon. So I bought some of these little ramen cups. They're the McDougal ones, and I actually got these at Vegan Supply in South Surrey here, but you can get them online, Amazon, that kind of thing. So I prepped those noodles, and what I do with these instant soups is I always add more to it, because as you know, there's not a lot in it, right? You open them up, it's like a little seasoning packet, a few dehydrated vegetables, and that's not very filling for most people. So I added more corn. Sometimes I'll add peas. I'll just take the frozen peas, frozen corn, add them in, and with the boiling water, and then drain off the water, and then I add a little more water. And then I also added the chickpeas that I roasted today, and now I'm gonna add some cheesy sprinkle, like nooch sprinkle, and she'll love this. So I think this is which one is this? Yeah, the chicken flavor ramen. I mean, they don't care. They just like the noodles and chickpeas and all the goodness in there. Sometimes I'll put avocado in there too, but we don't have any right. We have like 10 in the dish drainer waiting. Hi, Kathy. Oh, I know. Smoky Sunday's a good day for batch cooking. I'm with you. Hi, Leslie. She's watching. And, oh, thank you. She's saying, thinking about us affected from the smoke and the animals. I know, it's awful. I don't know when it's going to clear up. I think we're supposed to be getting some rain on Monday, so hopefully that will help here anyways. Elise says she loves the ramen cups. Yeah, they're awesome. And she says Publix sells them, and they're probably cheaper in some of those larger stores. I mean, here it's hard to find these. We have to get them online, or I can get them at Vegan Supply, but I haven't seen these in most of our retailers. And hi from Nanaimo, Alicia. I just made Nanaimo bars last week for friends, so that just came to mind. Oh yeah, the mainland is here. I know, we can't barely see very much either. It feels really strange. Like, I grew up in Newfoundland, and it reminds me of getting thick fog like we had in Newfoundland. So I'm actually gonna just put this on the table for my daughter and pop back. Okay, and so I got a little derailed again. I also made tofu for lunches, and so this is what I do for tofu, guys. It's so easy, it's not fussy. People think tofu involves a lot of prep. I used extra firm tofu. This was almost 2 packages, because my daughter opened a package last night and just kind of did what she wanted with some of it. She crumpled some up into something, I don't know. She's like got a little deli operation. After I go to bed, she's here making food of her own. And I literally just sprinkled it with balsamic vinegar and tamari, and that is it. Baked it up in the oven at like 400 or 450, and it gets nice. See, it gets nice and seasoned. The flavors go into the tofu, and it's so fuss-free. And like, this is what I do with tofu. Hey, sweetie, you can have your lunch. Yeah. No, it's okay. You can do tofu like this all the time. Some of the pieces, I added a few more on the top after I found the leftover tofu in the fridge, so they didn't get as seasoned, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And I add this to sandwiches, so I'm going to be using that today. And then in the oven, I have some sweet potatoes baking up, and some of them are done. These little guys are done. Again, don't do what I do. So I'm actually going to be using a couple of those today, so I'm going to take them off and pop the rest of them back in. So that's what I've been doing for the past hour is batch cooking and making lots of, oh gosh. Oh, hi from Ireland and Florida. Hello, hello. And Emily's talking about the Great Fog of Britain. Oh, and they had, but it wasn't fog, they had to wear masks. Yeah, we're wearing masks around here too. And hi T, and Jermaine, 99% vegan. Hey, you know what? Every step to eating plant foods is fabulous. I am not one of those people who police others. I think take your steps and you grow with it. It's a journey. It's how I think we all do. And we're only going to bring more people into this way of eating by encouraging them. And really, I eat quite different from when I started. So there's Ollie on cue. Gonna bark from our video. The high protein tofu. Christine, is that the one from Trader Joe's? I think it might be. We sometimes get it from Trader Joe's. We haven't been able to go over the border, of course, in the last 6 months, but it is awesome if that's the one. And okay, so let's get going. Enough chit-chatting. I'm gonna start making prep. So I'm gonna start with, so when I make lunches for myself during the week, now that they're back in school, that's when I tend to make school lunches. And I talk about this in my Plant Powered Families book. Can you pass me a book there, hon? About how I kind of organize prepping lunches. So I know a lot of people want to prep a lunch the night before or in the morning, and that's cool. Like, if that's the way it works for you, do it that way. For me, when after dinner hits, I am not interested in being in the kitchen again. I've been cooking most of the day. I don't want to deal with more cleaning, and in the morning it's way too like manic to want to prepare a lunch. So I get everything prepared the day before and in the fridge. And in Plant Powered Families, I have a whole section on prepping lunches. I know a lot of people don't seem to see these sections in the book because they're at the end and they're past the recipes, but this is Lunchbox Solutions, and it talks about how to prepare lunches for school and lunches that are nut-free. And so hopefully this demo will give you some ideas, but again, it can be for school or for work. So first of all, some containers. We have a few different ones. I've got, these are BPA-free ones where you put the sandwich here, and then some fruit or whatever else there. I've got another one with a little fork and knife for pasta and things. These two I've had for about, this one I've had for I'd say about 10 years, the Planet Box, and it's still going strong. Links are in my site, or in the description for these containers. You'll see them on my site and what they are and where you can get them. The thing with the Planet Box, I do find though, it's a little heavy because it's all stainless steel and it's pretty big. This is I think it's Lunchbox. No, Lunchbox. And I have this one on my site as well. It's a little bit smaller, but to me it's a little more manageable, especially for younger kids when, you know, they got a lot of things in their backpack. And this one's a little smaller and a little lighter. So this is what I'm going to use today. And so I always put some fruit or veg or something in the little packets. I'm going to pop and get some fruit. I got these really nice grapes the other day. They're seedless, organic, and it's funny, sometimes you get grapes. I don't test them in the store. I don't like doing that. One, I like to clean them. Two, I don't know. It's kind of like, you're just eating the produce. So I don't eat them in the store, but sometimes you get them and they're really crunchy and delicious, and other times, like we bought a whole bunch the other day, they had a really weird taste. They just didn't taste sweet or good at all. So I've got some grapes in there, and I've got some mandarins. So I'll put a couple of mandarins or one mandarin in there. And sometimes I'll put veg in there, but I'm going to put veg in her actual like sandwich component today, so I'm not going to do that. I might put a plum in there too. Actually. She's laughing at me, what? It's her lunch, yes, I'm making your lunch. It's kind of funny. Okay, and now I'll do the sandwich portion. Sometimes I use, you know, just whole grain sliced bread. Today I'm using Silver Hills sprouted tortillas. And these are really nice. They're very soft tortillas. And okay, sometimes you go to get tortillas, and guys, there's a weird smell on them, like a really, when you open the package, you smell this weird, some kind of preservative, and it just smells funky and gross. I will actually pick up tortillas in the store and smell the package. Truth, you'll see me doing this, and seeing if that smell is on it, and these don't have it. There's no weird preservative in them. They're whole grain, sprouted grain, and they're very pliable. So you can see they're really nice and soft. They're not gluten-free, so I'm falling behind on comments. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I've been loving the grapes. It seems to be the grapes towards the end of the summer are much better, and the green grapes are really crunchy, and the purple grapes too. My daughter's giving a thumbs up. Tofu will last, Emily, it lasts about 2 days in my house, but it will last, I'd say, a week. Yeah, I mean, if you're opening it every day, that's when the bacteria will form, when you're introducing more air to it. But I'd say for a week for sure. You could even freeze it, but when you freeze it and you thaw it, it gets a little bit watery, spongy. So these are the tortillas, really nice and pliable. And this is what I'm gonna do. I've got one of these little sweet potatoes that I just baked, which I love that they're so long like this because they're kind of the perfect snack in a way. But I'm gonna peel them. They're really too hot for most lunch prep purposes right now. Usually I will have these out of the fridge to use, and they're cool. And again, I know my fingers are used to very hot temperatures from cooking for so long, so this is not a good idea. And Ollie will love these peels, so I'm going to save those for the dog because he loves them. And I'm going to mash the sweet potato as a filling, but it's not a filling, it's going to be almost like a spread to hold the goodies in the tortilla. So I do this all the time. I do it on sandwiches as well, and people are like, what? You use sweet potato in the sandwich? How? And so this is one way. Sometimes I'll slice it and use it with hummus, and it's kind of like a filling as you would do hummus with, say, sliced cucumbers. Instead, I'll slice sweet potato, but I realized 2 tortillas may be too much for her, so I may cut this and do 1.5. Regardless, I'm going to finish it off. I need a little more sweet potato. Dog is going to be quite happy today. So these again are sweet potatoes. In Canada we call them yans. I did a video on sweet potatoes the other day, so you can link to my YouTube channel and see that one. These are the orange ones. And then here you can just add a little sprinkle of salt if you want. You don't have to, but you could season it just a tiny bit with just a little sprinkle of salt. And then, what's that? Ollie's here. He's here for the sweet potato, friends. He's here. Here, buddy. Okay, want to bring it to his dish? Here you go. He smells it. I swear, when I make sweet potato, he smells it, and he comes to the kitchen. He smells it. He knows I'm cutting it. It's bizarre. So I'm just going to put the tofu in there. You could slice it. Maybe I'll slice it. You don't have to. You could put it in as full rectangular pieces, but just slice it and put it in there like that. And you guys seen that okay? And then the other side. So I put it on about half of the tortilla, and then I'm going to put a little bit of cucumber in there too. However, this sweet potato is still so hot that I'm not going to actually layer in the cucumber right now because it will soften it. So I'm just going to cut it and show you what I would do. I would just put the cucumber on one side and flip it over. But ultimately, I'm going to flip it over. Actually, another really good thing to put in here is a drizzle of balsamic reduction. Hang on. These are getting really empty, so there's not much left in here. But you can buy these little bottles of balsamic glaze or reductions, and putting a little drizzle of that on top of the tofu is really good. I will have to let those containers drain upside down to collect some, but that would be another good thing to put on top of that. I'll put a little ketchup on there if kids like it. And I could do a lot of these videos of how I make sandwiches with different ingredients using hummus or leftover dip or nut cheese and yeah, all kinds of things. So I'll just do this today or I'll be talking all day. And then we'll cut that in half into the lunchbox. I'm gonna put the cucumbers in it later. And I think 3 halves, like 3 wedges will be enough for her. And that's that. And then I sometimes like to put a little treat in there. So I got this little package of vegan gummies. She's always excited when I put a treat in there. And that's her lunch. Now that is lunch, not all day food. I always pack a recess for her. Oh, and I should say, when I put this in the fridge now, I'm not gonna cover it right away because the sweet potato is still warm, or if the tofu is warm. What I'll do is I'll just put it in the fridge like this for maybe a half hour, let it fully cool, and then close it up. What was I saying? Oh, so like snacks, like Reese's and stuff, I'll always pack something separate, usually some muffins or some like banana, oatmeal banana bites. I made those in another video, something like that for her for their morning recess, and then that's for her lunch. And today I'm going to make, I'm not going to make it now because the video's been long enough, but today I'm going to make my oil-free caramel corn. I made popcorn last night, and I'm going to make that. She's pretty excited about that in the background. So I linked the recipe to the oil-free caramel corn in the description. It's from my ebook, my snacks ebook, but the recipe, I posted one of the recipes from the ebook on my site, and that one's the one, and it's super yummy. It's really good. And oh, the brand of wraps, it's Silver Hills. It's a really popular brand of bread here in the Vancouver, BC area. I know they're in other provinces, and I know they're also in the States. When I've taken trips down to Washington, I've found them in stores there. I'm not sure about the tortillas, but I've definitely found the breads, and the breads are amazing too. So I'm not sure if they're all through the States. And, oh, great idea from T about grapes that aren't so tasty. She says if they're a bit softer, she freezes them, and her boys love to eat them from the freezer. That's a great idea. I've done that in the past, and I totally forgot about it. And yeah, Hope loves it too, she's saying, and I've forgotten about it. And they're also good for smoothies and such. And, oh, thanks, Emily. She said she's read the part about packing lunches in the book and has found it super helpful, so that's great. So I think that's it. I've shown you the lunch, and now I'm going to go make a lunch bowl for myself. I've got it started. Now that I've got the chickpeas ready and the sweet potatoes, I can do that. And yeah, that's about it. Any questions, you can always add them in afterwards, and I'll try to get to them after the video is done. And I also post these videos to YouTube after, and so if you're missing it, you can subscribe to YouTube. And I've also been trying to post them on my site. So go to the links in the description, head over to my site, and get the recipes for the chickpea nibbles. The recipe's on my site. I posted that in the lunches post, and some of the ideas for packing lunches too. So thanks for joining, guys, and thank you, Marion. I'm glad that you're enjoying the videos. Thank you, Christine, as well. And I'll see you soon. Go make some good food, and have a great Sunday and week ahead. Maybe I'll be back next week. Take care.